So I'm going to start with a question. Who here is really desiring something, but it's not yet shown up in their life? Yeah. Okay. And who here has an area of their life which is just not as awesome as they'd like it to be? Yeah, okay. So hopefully I'll be able to shed some light on that for you today in this talk. So this starts last year for me, and I was lucky enough to attend Moon Circles. And it was a great opportunity to just meet every 15 days and just review what had happened in the last 15 days, what worked, what didn't work, and then set intentions for the next 15 days. And it was a real great opportunity to just stop and evaluate what was going on in my busy life. And so one time in August last year, it's also called in some cultures Hungry Ghost Month or Hungry Ghost Festival. And what it is when you can celebrate your ancestors and you remember your ancestors. And some people think it's when the veil between the two worlds is the thinnest, so you can connect with them. And so we sat in this circle, and we were asked to contact our ancestors. But I don't mean like woo-woo, contact them through the veil. I mean, remember the stories that we were told about them, or remember the experiences we'd had with our grandparents, if you're lucky enough. And so I sat there, and people were sharing their stories of how, their grandma had been brave, or there was courage, or things like that. And I was sat there just trying to think about my family and my ancestors. And for me, it was like someone opened a big trap door above my head, and it opened and just went, and dumped all this pain, all this sadness, all this kind of suffering, basically, into me. Energetically, I felt it in my body. And then I was trying to sift through it because I wanted something positive to say and share. I just couldn't find anything. And the only thing that was coming through was, you've got to work hard. You've got to work hard. You've got to work hard. But it wasn't in a healthy way. It was in a destructive way. Like in a work hard to the point where it's affecting your relationships. Work hard to the point where it's affecting your health. Work hard to the point where there's no self-care left. And at that point, I was feeling really burnt out, and I was feeling really tired. And I was hunched over a laptop for a lot of the time, sort of 10 hours a day, and just forgot to go outside and take breaks, and my self-care had just totally stopped as well. It stopped exercising and everything. And so it was a real wake-up call for me as to why I hadn't been looking after myself, and I'd just been working hard and burnt myself out. But I really felt there was something more to this, like something deeper. It was a bigger belief. So I contacted my friend that I trained with, and one of the things, many things that we learned, but one of them was shamanic healing. And for us, the way we practice that is we just put you into a meditative state, and then we ask your body, because your body knows everything. It's so wise, and if you want to know the answers, just like you're saying, go within, but also ask your body. So we put me into an altered state, and I scanned my body to see where this stuff was coming up. And it was 12 bits on my left side, which is the feminine. And in my family, on my mum and my dad's side, all the way back, it was quite challenging for women. Lots of things had gone on, and they tended to work to either forget an event or bury something they didn't want to acknowledge. And what came out of it was, if my ancestors weren't suffering, then they weren't working hard enough. And I was like, wow. And then basically I'd internalised this, and it was, if I wasn't suffering, I wasn't working hard enough. If I wasn't punishing myself, then I wasn't working hard enough. And it really shook me up, it really woke me up, and I was like, wow, I've really got to sort this out. So with this, the way I like shamanic healing and the way we practice it is because it works on 2 levels. So it works energetically, releasing it from your body, but it also works on your mind, reprogramming your mind. So what I did is I replaced it with what I like to call loving truths, which was, I am not my ancestors' suffering, and it's safe for me to love and enjoy my work and set healthy boundaries. And then I printed this out and I stuck it on my wall, and I'd read it in the morning and before I went to bed, and just chant it over and over again to really rewire my brain into that way of thinking. And I also did acupuncture as well to really get myself back into alignment, because I'm very sensitive with energies. And then it was great. It was brilliant. And so what I invite you to do is, even if you think that was a bit woo-woo, I don't sit in a moon circle, Lucy, I'm not going to connect with my ancestors, let me put it this way. So if you think you were raised by your parents or whoever you were raised by, they have their beliefs and they have their actions that they took while you were growing up and surrounded by them. From that environment, you created your own beliefs, and even some you've taken on from your parents unconsciously, which are running in the background. So like my beliefs, I didn't know this was going on, sabotaging me in the background of my mind. So, and then if you think about that, then your parents, their parents brought them up with their beliefs about the world and their actions and how they treated each other. And then it goes up another layer, it goes up. So basically it can be passed down and you wouldn't even know it really. So what I'd invite you to do is, maybe not tonight, but tomorrow, whenever you get a chance, is that thing that you're really desiring, or that thing that's not quite as awesome as you'd like in your life, just take 10 minutes to sit quietly and just go within and just contemplate, like just think about your ancestors, think about the stories that you were told, think about mottos, like your family could have a motto that just might come to mind. Just really tune into it and see what comes up, and you'll be quite surprised at what memories pop up and what surfaces. Or another thing to do is journal, just free write, set the intention you'd like to know why this thing isn't manifesting, free write and see what else comes up. And then, like I said, release it on an energetic level. So you can do that with energy work or acupuncture, or there's probably loads of other healing techniques out there. And then in your mind, rewrite it out, because it's been proven that if you write something out, it's more likely to stick in your mind than if you just say it. So rewrite out the new version of what you like, and then you can print it out and stick it on your wall if you want to really integrate it into your life. Or if you want to tackle both, people heard of EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, tapping? That's a great one, because that rewires your mind and works on an energetic level as well. And if you don't know about that, then check out YouTube, there's loads of free videos on it. But that would really help you to release this pattern, which is not actually yours and not actually true. So I hope that helped. Yeah, we're just taking time. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah. And if you've got any interesting ancestral patterns, then I would love to hear them. Because I find it quite curious. Thank you.